Hello, this is Spartan Commander, and this is a 536 Rome Total War Brotherhood game that I've put onto YouTube. I don't know if you guys ever get fed up with playing on the flat, grassy maps all the time. So what I've done is I've rediscovered some of the old, forgotten maps on Rome Total War, and that's what I've been hosting on lately. And this is one of those old, forgotten maps, and this map is called Tuscan Bay. And it's an interesting map, and as I say, if you look on the multiplayer maps, there's a lot of quite interesting maps that you might like to host on. And as I say, this is the Tuscan Bay map, and you can see there that it's hilly, but it's no advantage to either side. You can see it's a hilly map, but if you notice, both sides have got the same kind of gradient there. So as I say, there's no advantage to either team, and I think playing on a map that's kind of almost been forgotten, I think adds even more to the battles. Okay, our first teammate is Brotherhood member Earth. Now Earth has just got 8 infantry, 6 archers and 5 cavalry. Now this appears to be his standard Roman army that he brings to most battles now. Okay, and you see you got his 6 cavalry. Quick look at the upgrades on his cavalry. They're usually very good there, and there you go, give him a count there, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, fully upgraded Praetorian cavalry. As we've said in other battle videos, this cavalry does good with just gold shield, gold attack, but if you fully upgrade it, you turn elite cavalry into super cavalry. But only 8 infantry. Is that enough for the modern day battlefield? I guess we'll just have to see. And will those 6 maximum upgraded cavalry make up for that short amount of infantry? Okay, our next teammate is Brotherhood member at Legion 22. Now Legion 22 has got 16 Sacred Band Spearmen, 2 Slingers and 2 fast moving cavalry general units there. And that seems to be his standard Carthage army, usually quite effective. Okay, our next teammate is Brotherhood member Man2, who has got the same army as Earth, 8 infantry, 6 archers and 6 cavalry. Okay, once again, I would say, is 8 infantry enough for the modern day battlefield? My guess is that he's probably done the same as Earth and maxed his cavalry out there. There you go, 9 upgrades, 3 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. But will those 6 maximum upgraded Praetorian cavalry make up for just 8 infantry? I guess we'll just have to see as the battle unfolds. Okay, and our last teammate is myself, Spartan Commander. He's got his very old Roman army of 12 infantry and 6 cavalry. Okay, so there's our team there, and as I say, this is fought on the Tuscan Bay Map, one of the forgotten maps. And here is a tactical positioning question here, because you notice here that I've positioned my army to the highest point of the map that I can get to. Okay, so as you can see there, I'm on the highest part of the map. Now the enemy army opposite me should also be on the highest part of the map, so neither of us have got an advantage. Okay, so we'll both be facing each other on the highest part of the map. Can't go any higher because if you notice there are the red lines on the edge of the map there, so he should be right in front of me. Okay, that's where the enemy army should be. Obviously you would take the highest point on the map. Just to say, if he's not formed up in front of me on that highest part of the map, I will run across there and take advantage of the higher ground. We'll just have to wait and see. And here is the other team. We have an RTW player who's called himself Meatloaf, but is in fact Scorpion King SR. Now Scorpion King SR has got 5 archers, 9 infantry and 6 cavalry. Okay, so 5 archers, 9 infantry and 6 cavalry. 9 infantry, is that enough for the modern day battlefield? I guess we'll just have to see. The next teammate is, you can see Orcs Megas there. Now Orcs Megas has got the bog standard 31k Roman army of 14 infantry and 6 cavalry. Remember, the reason that's the bog standard 31k Roman army is because it's so effective and so efficient, and that's why so many people bring that 14 infantry, 6 cavalry army, and that's why it's the bog standard 31k Roman army. Okay, the next teammate is an RTW player who's called himself God, and he has got 6 archers, 6 cavalry and 8 infantry. Okay, so God has got 6 archers, 6 cavalry and 8 infantry. Quick look at the upgrades on his cavalry. I haven't played this player before as far as I know, and let's have a look at the upgrades. 1, 2, 3, 4. So he's got 8 upgrades on his cavalry, 2 experience stripes, gold shield, gold attack. As I say, to my knowledge, I haven't played with this player before, so it'll be interesting to see how well he does. And their last teammate is Brotherhood member Lackjack. Now Lackjack has got 12 infantry and 6 cavalry. Now he usually brings pretty good infantry, and if you notice there, he already got 7 upgrades on his infantry and experience stripe, gold shield, gold attack on his infantry there. So that should be it'd be interesting to see how well they do. So that's the enemy team there. As you can see, all Rome. You've got Scorpion King, SR, you've got Megas, you've got God, and you've got Lackjack there. Okay, now what I wanted to show you here is, do you remember what we looked at earlier? I said to you that if the enemy general hadn't actually formed up on the highest part of his map opposite me, I'm going to take advantage of that, and I'm going to move forward there and try and take the high ground. Okay, it's not my fault that they've ceded the high ground on their side of the battle map, so I'm going to go forward there and exploit that and try and grab the highest part of the ground there. Okay, so as I say, really I think the Roman general opposite me should have been up on the highest point of his part of the map, so that he would be you know, opposite me, and we would be on the same height. But as he hasn't, as I say, I'm going to take advantage of that now and grab the higher ground. Right, let's pause the game for a second here. Okay, so as I say, most of us, and maybe the last 4 or 5 years, have been used to just playing on the grassy flatland maps, and maybe not too many hilly maps here. So this is a bit of an old tactic here. Now obviously here Earth is right down this end of the battlefield, and he wants to get his army right up to the top there, because this is where we're all heading for. We're heading for the highest point of our particular part of the map here, obviously onto the high ground here. So he's going to get his troops all the way up there. Okay, now your first instinct if you're down here is to run your troops all the way up to that highest point. But what I'd like to remind you of is the 6 states of fitness in this game. You know, you start off with fresh, and then you go to warmed up, then you go to winded, then you go to tired, very tired, and exhausted. Okay, now if he runs up the hill with his army, approximately halfway up that hill, probably his army is going to become exhausted. Now remember, when you hit tired, very tired, and exhausted, the battle proficiency of your army, the way they fight, absolutely really lowers, and also the morale of your troops really lowers as well. So if he tries running his troops all the way up the hill there, and about halfway up, when his troops are exhausted, if he is intercepted by the enemy team and they smash into him, especially with a shock of cavalry attacks, then with his army being exhausted, there's a good chance it would mass rout. Okay, so what I would say to you is that the best tactic to run up the hill here is to actually run until your troops are winded. Okay, then walk. Okay, and as they walk, their fitness will get better, and when it goes back to fresh, run them again until they get winded, and then stop and just walk again so that till they get back to fresh. And the reason for doing that is because if you're intercepted moving up that hill, if your troops at their worst state are winded, you can still put up a good fight. Your troops are still in good condition to fight the enemy troops, and your team, being on the higher part of the map, can come down with the downhill charge bonus and help you out. Okay, so if you run and walk, as I say, run until your troops get winded, then walk them, okay, till they go back to fresh, then run them again till they get to winded. And as I say, if you get intercepted by the enemy army while you're moving up the hill, you've still got your troops in really good condition to be able to hold them off, while your allies are higher than the enemy attacking you, and they have the downhill charge bonus to be able to attack the enemy. But if you try running your troops all the way up the hill and they're exhausted and you get hit by an enemy attack, especially heavy cavalry attack, then the chances are that with your troops being exhausted, you could have a mass rout. Okay, so as I say, I know most of us are used to fighting on a flat map these days, but there are some tactics on hilly maps that can be quite useful if ever you do fight on a hilly map. So I just thought I'd share that with you. As I say, the tactics on a flat grassy plain map are quite different from on a hilly map there. So as I say, here you can see that Earth is starting off walking his army up the hill. As I say, he understands the 6 stages of exhaustion in this game, the 6 stages of fitness. He's going to run his cavalry up there. You can see here that Legion 22 is running his spearmen up there, but he hasn't got so far to run. And here you can see that Man 2 is running his Julii army up here as well. Okay, so here you can see that God character there, player there, is moving his cavalry up onto the higher part of the ground. So now I'm going to shift my infantry up onto the higher part of the ground there as well, to kind of neutralize the threat of him being on the higher ground. Remember, the higher ground in Rome Total War, if you get on the higher ground, you get large downhill bonuses, like downhill charge bonus. Your pylons go further and do more damage. Your arrows go further and do more damage if you're on the higher ground. So in Rome Total War, it's best to get up onto the higher part of the ground as you can, as this will give you an advantage there. You can see Lackjack moving his Brutio army up here as well as Mantu moving his Julia army up here as well. Looks like Mantu's going to challenge Lackjack's army there, but remember that Mantu, I believe, has only got 8 infantry, so that might make it a little bit difficult there. Here you can see Legion running his spearmen up there, trying to get up onto the higher ground with us. Okay, so as I say, here you can see I'm up on quite nearly up as high as I can there. I got Mantu's cavalry in behind me, and as I say, Legion 22's Carthage Sacred Band spearmen are nearly up to us. But just look how far down the hill Earth is. Now Earth has stopped his cavalry there, look, to be able to still cover his infantry as they move. Now this, I was quite surprised here, because the enemy troops are a long way away from Earth, okay, at this stage. But what I noticed here was that, if you notice, he's actually stopped his infantry moving. Can you see there? He's actually stopped. Now they're warmed up, they're not winded or tired or anything like that, and really he needs to keep on walking up that hill, trying to get to the top of the hill there, because I can't see why he's actually stopped there, because the longer he takes to get up that hill, the more chance are that the enemy team will spot that and maybe try and intercept his army. Now he's moving his cavalry up to the higher part of the ground there. As I say, he stopped them there maybe to cover his infantry, or maybe to rest his cavalry as he moves them up the hill, but now he needs to move his infantry. I see he's got his archers, look. His archers are running, but his infantry, as I say, he just stood them still. I think the best thing to do is to just, just keep them walking. They don't get tired when they're walking, but just standing them still like that, there's a chance now that the enemy team might spot that and intercept his army as it moves up the hill there. Okay, you'll notice here I've moved my Julii army right up now onto the highest part of the map I can get. I can't get any higher than this, and if you notice there, I'm right up against the red line. Now, I'd like to talk to you about the red line here. Now, fighting by the side of the red line, okay, has got an advantage and a disadvantage. Now, the enemy obviously can't flank me there, because they can't go around that red line. Okay, they can't do that. They can't cross the red line, so my left flank is secure there. Okay, they can't get round there. But the disadvantage here is that if I'm attacked heavily by the enemy, okay, if any of my units that are routed when I'm attacked run over there, then they'll rally and come back into the fight. Okay, so as we've seen in other battle videos. But if any of my units, say a 70-man unit, routes and it goes over that red line, once it's gone over that red line, it never returns. Okay, so this is the disadvantage of fighting by a red line. If you get smashed and hit by an enemy team and your units start to rout, they would normally rally, but if they go over that red line, they will never come back. So that's the disadvantage of fighting by a red line. I've seen in the past Greek city armies fighting on the red line there, and they thought that was pretty smart doing that, until their big units started to rout and disappear over the red line and not come back into the fray. So as I say, it's an advantage and a disadvantage there fighting by the red line. Here you can see Mantu's got his archers up onto the high ground there, ready to make the most of the downhill bonuses he'll get for his archers there against the enemy archers. And there you can see Legion 22's got his Carthage army up here. Here you can see Earth's cavalry there, his Scipii cavalry. He's brought them into the fray, doing really well there with them, chasing away that Brutii cavalry. So at least his cavalry has managed to get up to us there. And you can see Lackjack's Brutii army facing our Carthage ally there. And as I say, you can see Earth's infantry and archers moving up the hill. Okay, you can see he's actually running them now. They are winded, so he may well look to maybe walk them in a while there to try and get them back down to fresh. But as I say, it's got the potential to be a really great battle on this forgotten Tuscan Bay map. Okay, at this stage of the battle here you can see Earth running his infantry up the hill there. and here you can see Scorpion King SR's SBQR Cavalry. Now, whether he's thinking of doing a downhill charge onto Earth's archers and infantry, we'll just have to wait and see. Looking at the position in there, it wouldn't surprise me if he did that. And also I noticed that Scorpion King SR's SBQR army, instead of moving up the hill, is moving more across the hill here, maybe looking to intercept Earth's infantry there. But as I say, you can see Scorpion King SR's cavalry there, and as I say, it probably wouldn't surprise me if he was looking to do a downhill charge on Earth's infantry and archers here. If you notice here, Earth's doing the right thing, walking his infantry here, so that his infantry are warmed up. Look, so if he's attacked, he can still, he's still got reasonably fit troops there. Really good troops there to fight off the enemy. If he'd been, as I say, if he'd been running his troops all the way up the hill, they would have been exhausted by now, and if they'd have been hit hard by an enemy army, they'd probably routed. Here you can see Earth's got his fully upgraded cavalry there, covering his archers and infantry, and it'll be interesting to see what the enemy Brutii and SBQR army does here, and whether it is going to try to intercept Earth's infantry and archers there. Right, you can see Earth now has set his archers out here, and he looks like he's going to be firing volumes of arrows into the flank of Lackjack's infantry there. There you go. If you notice there, Earth had his archers in close tight formation for more impact and more damage there. You can see the massive load of arrows going into Lackjack's infantry. Right, here comes Scorpion King's cavalry, and make no mistake there, he's probably going to go for those two archer units furthest away from Earth's cavalry there, and if he charges in there, he's going to smash into them. Get ready for this, and bang, as he smashes in there, routed that archer unit on impact there. Now you can see both Lackjack's army and Scorpion King SR's infantry and cavalry coming across here. Okay, now Earth is in an awkward position here because now this is a 2v1. Okay, so as I say, you can see all of Scorpion King SR's infantry and cavalry, all of Lackjack's infantry and cavalry now, both attacking and intercepting Earth's infantry and cavalry. Now the best thing for Earth to do now is to back off on the higher ground. Move up to the higher ground there, so that even though he's being attacked by two armies, if he can get up on that higher ground, he'll have the downhill bonuses there. So, as I say, I think the best thing for Earth to do is not to try and get to us, but to try and back off up to the higher ground there. And you can see both Lackjack and Scorpion King SR charging here. Looks like SR's cavalry is going to smash in to one of Earth's infantry there. Look, bang, as it smashes in there. And it wouldn't surprise if that unit routed. There you go, that unit's routed. Remember that Earth's spent all his money on his cavalry. I think his infantry are just gold shield, gold attack there. And that was a nice lightning surgical hit there by Scorpion King SR's SBQR cavalry. Took that unit out. And as I say, you can see SBQR infantry and Brutii infantry there moving towards Earth's infantry. Now remember, Earth has only got 8 infantry. He's just lost one of those units there, so now I think he's down to maybe 5 or 6. He's got his archers there shooting into the enemy troops, but you can see here that Scorpion King SR with his SBQR army really being aggressive here, and you can see Lackjack's Brutii army moving up there as well. Okay, but Earth is doing the right thing. He's getting on the higher ground. He knows that if he gets on the higher ground, he'll have the downhill bonuses, even though he is facing 2 armies there. Now over here you can see Mantu's got his cavalry looking to help Earth if he can there, but it's going to be a bit awkward for us, I think, now. Now over here you can see here I've got my army there, as I say, up on the highest part of the ground. Here you can see Mantu's archers here are having a bit of a tussle. They're outnumbered by those Brutii archers, but they've got the downhill advantage. Now you can see Mantu's infantry there as well, and of course we've got Legion 22's Carl's Sacred Band units there. But as I say, you can see Scorpion King's SBQR army really moving forward aggressively there. Now here, you can see Lackjack has spotted that Julii cavalry of Mantu's and is kind of facing his army towards the threat of the cavalry there, as Scorpion King SR is moving his SBQR army up, chasing Earth's Scipii army there. Okay, so as I say, Earth's doing the best thing. Get on the higher ground there for the downhill bonus that he will get. Okay, so I think there was a bit of confusion in our team at this stage of the battle, because all I saw was that poor old Earth was getting attacked by 2 armies here. So if you notice here, we're charging down, both Mantu and myself. Now all that Brutii general is going to do there is keep backing off if we both attack him. He's just going to try and draw us down from the higher ground. That's what he'll want to do. And as you can see there, he's withdrawing there, trying to draw us down to the lower ground there so that we lose our advantage on the higher ground. That's all he's going to do there. But as I say, over here you can see Lackjack's Brutii infantry closing in on Earth there. You can see a lot of Earth's units are starting to rout here with a smashing hit here by Scorpion King SR. Although I can see Scorpion King SR has lost some units there as well against Earth's Scipii troops. Now here you can see Lackjack's cavalry. Now remember Lackjack's cavalry there, you can see he's up against fully upgraded Scipii cavalry there, and bang as they charge into each other there. So I don't think Lackjack's cavalry spent most of his money on his infantry, so I'm thinking his cavalry is probably just gold shield, gold attack, and his cavalry are now going up against fully upgraded Scipii cavalry, Praetorian cavalry there. Here you can see a lot of Earth's units have been routed here by Scorpion King SR. Okay, but here's where I think we were a little bit confused here on what was going on. Here you can see that Mantu is charging his infantry and cavalry down against the enemy Brutii general there. Can you see there? He's charging his infantry and cavalry down there. But I think what we were concerned about, we were watching Earth there being attacked by 2 armies. So I don't think I noticed what Mantu was doing here. See, I'm looking to charge my infantry and cavalry. Okay, you can see I'm withdrawing my infantry and cavalry because I'm going to take it over. Let's pause the game for a second here. So you can see what I'm trying to do is get over here to try and go and help Earth. I think that's what I was thinking at the time there, because bearing in mind he's up against 2 armies there. And Mantu and Legion 22 were where we were. So I thought, well, if I bring my Julii army over here, I could help Earth. Okay, so I remember that's what I was thinking in the game here at this particular stage. But Mantu had already charged his infantry and cavalry down here into the enemy Brutii general. Now remember that that God's cavalry has got 8 upgrades, 2 experience strike, gold shield, gold attack, plus he's got his infantry in there as well, plus he's got his archers shooting fire arrows into Mantu's army there. Okay, so I can see Mantu's army being routed here. And as you can see, a lot of Mantu's units are actually being routed. Now this was a confusion of what was going on. Can you see I'm still trying to move I was moving my infantry and cavalry over to help Earth. Then I see what Mantu's done, and now I'm moving my infantry back there, but it's too late. You can see that Mantu's army has now been routed. Okay, so unfortunate. That was a bit unfortunate. There was a little bit of, I think there was miscommunication or no communication there of what was going on. And we kind of got mixed up, and now Mantu's army has now been taken out. Now you can see I'm moving my cavalry over there to try and see if I can help Earth with my cavalry, but Scorpion King, using his years of experience there, probably realised that I was on the waylet, and he's put a wall of archers up there that are shooting into my cavalry, and he's backed his archers up with his well upgraded cavalry. So the only thing that I can do with my cavalry is pull back before I suffer too many casualties from those archers. Okay, you can see the arrows coming in onto my cavalry there, and he's higher than me as well, so he's going to get the downhill bonus there of those archers. They'll have a good long range on my cavalry there. Okay, you see Lackjack's Brutii infantry up quite high, right? You can see here that Earth has moved his Scipii army back there. I think he's got some units hidden in the woods there as well, probably some infantry units. But as I say, unfortunately for us, you can see a trail of my cavalry got hit by by those archers there. But unfortunate for us here, it looks like Mantu's entire army has now been routed there. Okay, so as I say, I think there was a bit of lack of communication amongst our team there and what we were doing. Mantu's general's still alive there, but as I say, the bulk of his army has now been lost there. And you can see Megas there, SBQR Megas moving up. And you can see the Brutii army there as well. And you can see Legion moving his spearmen more over towards my infantry. Okay, so over here you can see both Scorpion King and Lackjack now. Now probably what they're looking to do is to come downhill and smash into the rear of our troops. Okay, so we would be in a sandwich attack there. We'd have the enemy SBQR and enemy Brutii infantry attack in the front of us, and Lackjack and Scorpion King would come in behind us there. Okay, as I say, you can see Legion 22 bringing his Sacred Band close to my Julii infantry. But as I say there, you can see the enemy SBQR troops of Megas there moving up towards Legions there. And as I say, Lackjack and Scorpion King look to come in behind us here, and they're going to have the downhill bonus on us as well. Okay, so as I say, things not looking very good for our team at this stage, as it looks like there's going to be 4 enemy armies attacking our 2 armies here. Okay, as I say, Lackjack and Scorpion King there with their Brutii and SBQR armies, make no mistake, are looking to come in behind us there. And as I say, if you look at the position of their armies, they are higher than us, so they're going to have the downhill bonus on us. Okay, now you can see over here, I think Earth has done really well to have this army that he's got left here. Okay, he's still got, look, 3 fully intact infantry units. Okay, plus he's got an archer unit there, plus he's got the bulk of his fully upgraded cavalry as well. So that's really well done to him to keep those units still intact there, bearing in mind he was attacked by 2 armies. But as I say, you can see Scorpion King here running his SBQR army over. He's already got his cavalry up there as well. So just have to see what we're going to do here now. I know part of me at this stage is thinking about hitting that Brutio army. Now remember that RTW player God has only got 8 infantry, and they would have been weakened by Man 2's attack there. So I was thinking maybe if that Brutio army gets closer to me, I may well attack it. I'll have the downhill bonus as well, but I must be aware of those enemy troops coming in behind us. And here, as I say, that Megas there with his SBQR army, I have a heck of a lot of pilots to throw into my Carthage ally here. And as I say, you can see the enemy troops coming in behind us here, ready to attack, as I say, with that downhill bonus. Okay, so here I've decided now I'm going to attack that Brute army in front of me. Now bearing in mind that he's only got what's he got, 5, so he might have 7 infantry units left there. They would have been battle depleted, and I'm going to charge my 12 infantry units in there. I've got my cavalry locked and loaded. Now what I'm going to do here, I'm going to smash my cavalry through my infantry and crash into those enemy Brutii infantry there. Okay, you can see my cavalry coming through my infantry. I'm throwing loads of pilots into those enemy troops as well. Right, here comes my cavalry, get ready for this. Bang, as I smash in there. Also, I'm throwing my infantry forward as well, so you can see it's a combined infantry and cavalry attack there. I'm looking to smash through that green line there. And as you can see, my cavalry has smashed through there. Now, if you notice there at the rear, he has brought his cavalry together, ready to counter my cavalry. Okay, now remember, he's got really good upgrades on his cavalry, a lot better than mine, and he's going to charge them in there. And I'm aware of the upgrades on his cavalry, so what I'm doing is I'm going to rush my infantry forward there to support my cavalry in taking out his cavalry. If you notice, he's alt-attacking his archers as well. He's throwing his archers in with alt-attack here, but my Julia army are making a lot of inroads into his Bruto army there. I want to take out this Bruto army if I can. Okay, you can see charging forward there. No, not many tactics, not many strategy in this, just an all-out smash into that Bruto army is what I wanted to do with the downhill bonus that I've got here. And as I say there, you can see that Bruto army starting to rout there. You can see the Bruto general's gone. So as I say, I've done what I wanted to here. Now over here you'll see that Legion 22 is throwing his Carthage Sacred Band into the enemy SBQR troops. Now make no mistake, he will suffer a lot of casualties from pilots being thrown into him, but a very aggressive move there, I think. And over here you'll see that Earth with his cavalry has been a real nuisance to the enemy troops. Okay, so that, remember we saw Lackjack's Brutii and the SBQR troops moving towards the rear of our troops. Well, Earth bringing his infantry and cavalry over has stalled their movement. So really well done to Earth there, bringing that infantry and cavalry in there to attack that Brutii infantry. And you got enemy SBQR cavalry over here as well. Now all these enemy troops would be coming in behind us if Earth hadn't done that. So it was a nice move there by Earth. And you can see here,
General is dead. His men
Legion 22's Carthage Sacred Band making inroads into those SBQR units. Now remember, we had slightly higher ground here, look, so he's got the downhill charge bonus as he charges into those SBQR troops, but make no mistake, he will be piloted a lot, and the Roman troops will probably get in behind him. Right, okay, I've routed most of the enemy Brutii troops I was fighting there. The army that I wanted to take out of God, I've managed to take that God's army out there, which is what I wanted to do. But here I'd just like to show you a good move here by Megas. Can you see here he's pinning and holding the Carthage units at the front while he gets his SBQR units in behind them. That's a nice tactical move there. Newer players to Rome Total War, this is what you want to do. Hold and pin them at the front like he's doing there, and then get units in behind. Attack the weakest part of their units, the rear of their units there. But as I say, over here, there you are, you can see Megas' cavalry, look. Now he's probably looking to smash into the flank of our Carthage ally there. Can you see? There you are, look, he's got infantry coming around the flank there, but I reckon he's going to think about bringing that cavalry in there and smashing into the flank of Legion 22's Carthage Sacred Band troops there. Okay, so what I'm doing now, look, I'm reforming my infantry up here, taking stock of exactly what's happening here, seeing what's happening around the battlefield and this particular part of it. I'm just going to form my army up. I don't want to charge in before I'm completely formed up there, and you can see that SBQR infantry really pushing in to our Carthage ally there. Right, so I've got my army formed up now. I'm just going to charge in. There's no tactics, no strategy here. All I want to do is smash into that SBQR army with my battle formation, and I'm hoping that smashing into the rear of those engaged SBQR troops is going to start a mass rout there. You can see the Carthage Sacred Band units fighting really well, and the cavalry units smashing in there. Okay, now you can see Megas is SBQR cavalry coming over here looking to smash in to us, but as I say, as my Red Julia army hits those SBQR units, can you see they're routing almost on impact there, which is what I was hoping they were going to do there as I'm moving forward with my Julii infantry. Now what's Megas going to do with his cavalry and infantry? Now if you notice there, he's backing his cavalry and his infantry off, and it wouldn't surprise me if he took his cavalry off there as well. Okay, we've routed most of those SBQR units, including the general. SBQR general's been routed as well there. So well done to Legion there, he held well there when I moved my infantry forward. Okay, now meanwhile over here, most of Earth's infantry and cavalry has now been taken out, but he's done an outstanding job there of keeping that SBQR army of Scorpion Kings and that Brutii army of Lackjacks occupied over there, allowing a Legion and myself to do a lot of damage to enemy troops on our side of the battlefield. Unfortunately, as you can see here, Earth's generals have been killed or been got rid of, and most, as I say, of Earth's units have now been taken out, but he did an outstanding job there, as I say, of holding up that SBQR and Brutii army over here, allowing Legion and myself to do a lot of damage to enemy armies on our side there. Okay, so as I say, here you can see Megas is now taking his SBQR army over now, probably looking to link up with Lackjack and Scorpion King SR there. Okay, so that's where it looks to me like he's running. If you notice here, I'm chasing after him with my Julii army, and it wouldn't surprise me if Legion 22, now he's formed up his Carthage Sacred Band, will run after us as well. Okay, so you can see Megas there taking his SBQR army, as I say, to link up with Lackjack and Scorpion King on the higher part of the ground there. Okay, so when we come to engage them, they will have, I think, a downhill bonus on us. Okay, but I think Legion and myself have done quite well there. Our armies are pretty well intact. You're going to smash into that SBQR unit. Bang! As my cavalry unit smash in there. My cavalry has been battle depleted, but they're still reasonably strong there, I think. But as I say here, you can see I'm moving my army there towards the enemy troops, and as we thought here, they're now forming up here on the higher part of the ground, right by the side of the red line. As I say, so there'll be no chance of flanking them. But as I say, don't forget that red line has got an advantage and a disadvantage by fighting by the side of it there. So I think Megas has done the right thing here in taking his infantry and cavalry over to link up with Lackjack and Scorpion King there. And as I say, you can see I'm moving my army forward there. and my guys are just winded, so that's not too bad. The enemy team is winded as well, so that's not too bad. Your troops will still fight very well winded, but say when you get to tired, very tired and exhausted, that's when their battle proficiency and morale drops off the edge of a cliff there. Okay, so there you can see the enemy looks like they're going to form up there, and I've taken my infantry up there as well. As I say, you can see Legion 22 bringing his Carthage Sacred Band forward there. And as you can see, as I said to you before, the enemy are on a higher part of the ground here. Okay, they have got the highest part of the hill there. I've got my cavalry here that I've got hiding in the trees. As soon as they stop moving, they will be hiding in the trees, so the enemy troops won't see them. As I know, there are some Brutii units of God that have reformed behind us, will be moving forward. Right, so as I say here, you can see that the enemy troops there are right up by that red line, so I can't flank them on that side. Okay, so there's no way of going around the flank. Okay, no chance of that. But if their units start routing and they go over that red line, then of course they won't come back into the battle. Now I can't go around there, I can't flank them. I don't want to go down this side to try and flank them, because then I'm going to be fighting even more uphill there. See, it's even more of a battle up there. So the only way that I can attack is Route 1. Now what I say by Route 1 is it's not tactical, it's not strategic, it's a hammer blow. I try and do a sledgehammer blow right through the centre of the enemy line there. Okay, as I say, I can't flank them, can't get round behind them, can't flank them, so it's Route 1, and that is where I'm just going to try a sledgehammer blow straight through the centre of their battle line there. Now bearing in mind we're fighting uphill, this is a risk, but to me it looks like that's the only way forward. We just have to see what happens. Okay, so as we saw earlier, I have my cavalry hidden there as those Brutii units are creeping up on me, and as I thought the cavalry would back off, so I'm going to go for that infantry unit. Can you see he's trying to put that infantry unit in testudo, but bang! My cavalry go in there and take that infantry unit out there. So to say, my cavalry were hiding in the woods there. The Brutii general didn't realise they were there and moved forward slowly, and then my cavalry kind of ambushed him there. So as I say, it's good to have a map with some trees in it where you can plan those ambushes. So remember here, what I said to you is that I'm going to try and do the Sledgehammer Attack. Now if you notice here, can you see the enemy SBQR are trying to flank our Carthage ally there, taking infantry and cavalry around the flank there. So they're obviously looking to attack Legion 22's Carthage units there. So as I say, here you can see I'm moving forward. As I say, I'm going Route 1, which means I'm going to try and smash straight through the centre of the enemy that in front of me. No tactics, no strategy, no delicate manoeuvres, no subtlety here. It's just weakening their forward units with my pilots and then charging in there. And you can see there, that's what I'm going to do, smash into those units. Now luckily for me, a lot of those enemy units in front of me are battle damaged, so they're going to be even more battle damaged when I finish throwing my pilots into them. And what I'm going to do there is I'm going to do a combined infantry and cavalry attack there. You can see I'm still weakening their units by throwing pilots into them now. There you can see the pilots going in there. So I'm weakening their battle damage units already, and then I'm charging forward. Right, see my infantry now really pushing forward. Now if you notice my cavalry, I'm charging at the highest point of the map here. Can you see I'm going at the highest point there, right near by the red line. Get ready for that, and bang, as I smash in there, as I'm pushing forward there. Okay, trying to break through that enemy Julii infantry. You can see the enemy SBQR infantry there coming in as well to support his Julii ally. Okay, so it's about time I pulled my cavalry back. I've got the charge bonus there. My cavalry is very battle depleted there. Okay, you can see the enemy SBQR cavalry, still strong cavalry there being moved up there, ready to smash into my troops. So I'm going to pull my cavalry back. I'm going to stop my infantry from charging forward now. I'm going to hold order so it's going to stand its ground. Okay, because I'm expecting that cavalry hit at any time there. Let's pause the game for a second here. So as I say, I've stopped moving forward now. I've stopped my guys moving forward. I'm keeping those two infantry units back out of the fray because I'm going to charge them in once their enemy cavalry hits my infantry. I'm going to come in from the flank with those 2 infantry units there, fully intact. I'm going to lock and load and reform my cavalry and charge them in as well to counter-attack that SBQ or cavalry when it comes in. It wouldn't surprise me if he formed that cavalry up. He's not going to hit my infantry in piecemeal. He's going to form them up there, you are, in wedge formation for more impact, more penetration and more damage. And he's ready to charge in there. I've got my cavalry locked and loaded at the rear there. As I say, I've stopped my infantry charging forward. They're just standing their ground now, ready to receive that SBQR cavalry attack. And here it comes. Get ready for this. And bang! As it smashes into my infantry. I'm going to move those 2 infantry units that I showed you earlier, smashing into the flank of that cavalry. And now my cavalry is counter-attacking. And bang! As it smashes in there. Earth has thrown a couple of his cavalry units in there. Man 2's thrown some of his cavalry, rallied cavalry units in there as well. And my infantry is really pushing forward now. You can see that Brutii cavalry unit charging in behind us. But now, as I say, that sledgehammer blow of infantry and cavalry. Route 1 smashing straight through the enemy that was in front of me there. And you can see that we've routed those infantry and cavalry there. Okay, you'll notice that Earth now is chasing down the routers with that cavalry unit of his. Remember, his units, cavalry units were fully upgraded. He's going to chase the routers down, making sure they can't return to the battlefield here, while I turn my infantry onto this enemy SBQR infantry that was attacking our Carthage ally there. Okay, so you can see now that we're gradually taking out the enemy SBQR units there, including Megas's general there. It's just been routed. I think it was routed earlier but rallied, but now it has been routed there, and it wouldn't surprise me if the SBQR general may be admitted defeat here, and it looks like our team has managed to go on to win the battle here. But this was a really spread out hill battle here on this map here. You can see there that big mega battles. That's where Earth was fighting earlier against enemy troops there. Another massive cavalry and infantry battle looks there as well. Very spread out this battle was, and there was things going on all the time, all over the place here. And over here, this is where we fought that enemy SBQR army there, Legion 22 and myself. So you can see a lot of dead there. And over here, where my army was fighting that Brutii army of gods there. You can see there a lot of dead troops. I think a lot of those red Julii troops there were Man 2's troops. As I say, there was a bit of lack of communication between us earlier. And as I say, it looks like our team has managed to go on to win the battle there. I think Earth's got 1 unit left. Maybe 2. He might have 2 units left, but 1 or 2 units, that's all he's got left out of his whole army. And I think Man 2's just got his general unit left with 14 men in it. There you go. That's all Man 2's got left out of his entire army. So it just goes to show how much of a real battle of attrition this was. Let's go on to triple speed there just to make sure that... yeah, there you go. Straight... Now, I was thought to myself, looking at the units that we had left, this would be an average victory. I don't know what you guys thought. Did you think that? Because most of 2 of our armies have gone, but it was a clear victory, so that's quite surprised me there. As I say, with the amount of troops we had left, highest kills in the game goes to Brotherhood member Earth. Now, bearing in mind he was intercepted coming up the hill to get the highest kills, I thought he'd done extremely well there. Really well, and that god character, that god on the other side, like, he got some good kills too, but I think most of his kills would have been Man 2's army there when Man 2 charged down onto him. So well done Scorpion King SR. Probably didn't get the kills that he wanted to there, but he was very active on that flank. Well done to Megas there, got some good kills with his SBQR army. Well done to God, as I say, 2nd highest kills in the game. And well done to Lackjack. Probably didn't get the kills that he wanted to there, but really well played, guys. Nice aggressive attack there. That old army of mine, nearly 1,400 kills. Not bad for a smallest army, a small army there. And there you can see Man 2 did really well. Got some good kills there. Well done to Legion 22. Probably didn't get the kills that he wanted to, but he had a lot of men left at the end of the battle there. And well done to Earth, as we said, with the highest kills in the game. So I hope you enjoyed this game on this forgotten map, Tuscan Bay, and I thought it was a really interesting map, and may play on it a bit more. If you enjoyed it, please give us a thumbs up. See you soon. Bye for now.